can you see this person's perspective,
Right.
but can you see beyond this barrier that is in front of you right now? And we do get to that place of gratitude and actually appreciation. Now, it takes us refusing to stay in a victim mindset in order to do that.
Welcome in, everybody. I'm Devon.
I'm Teri.
And we are going to open up a big old Pandora's box right now because people, I think we're getting ready for our reboot. We moved our reboot. So if you guys said, oh, I couldn't show up on the 8th of January, we moved it because we had a blizzard.
Right.
We had a whiteout.
We rebooted it.
We did.
To the
we
following
rebooted
week.
So this Saturday, Lord's willing, and the snow don't fall, we're going to be there. And we have 3 slots open. If you'd like to be a part of it and maybe your weekend worked, you can reach out to Teri or to me and be a part of it. It's a very small group. And if you'd like to be a part of it, and it's going to take place this Saturday. And we met yesterday about it. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to be doing so much stuff and it's going to be great. But it's one day and it's live and it's here in Nashville. Today, we're going to talk about taking the compliment, accepting the gift. Okay, Teri, why is it when someone gives a compliment, this old thing, let me give you a compliment. And how did you use to deflect this? You have the most beautiful eyes.
Oh, yeah. My parents paid the doctor extra at birth for those. So just you can thank them for it. Like I never would take a compliment for my eyes. And because it makes compliments oftentimes make us feel uncomfortable. And I have to share this. A client of mine just saw I guess you've posted it on social media because I just wrapped with clients and jumped onto this. And I get a text that says, why do I always feel that your and Devon's topics are directed directly at me?
Because we got a lot in common, girlfriend, because that's the thing. Someone busted me on this week. And I was having dinner with some dear friends, and I realized that every single person at the table had difficulty accepting a compliment.
Absolutely.
Every single person. And I thought, why is it that we cannot accept good about ourselves? Why we deflect that? We have Leslie, who is listening now from North Carolina.
Hey,
and Elizabeth's excited about our boot camp. We are... And I think most of us probably think the same thing. Yeah, we all get caught up in that. Even when someone hands us a gift, oh, you didn't have to get me anything. Why'd you do that?
It's a way of of discounting, not intentionally, not like, oh, I'm going to hurt this person's feelings, but it puts us in a place of being vulnerable right out of the gate when you least expect it. Yeah. It's like, boom, here you are. You're worthy. You deserve this. It's yours. I was thinking about you. I care about you. And suddenly, us and all of our humanness is like, I can't do that. Like, don't see me. Yeah.
There's another thing that I find that people carry. I call it the inside, the locked up trauma chest that is within our bodies. When something traumatic happens, like for me, it was a sexual assault at age 19. From that day forward, I did everything I could to start discounting my appearance, to cover up my appearance, whether it was, and I'm being just out here like a hair on a cheeseburger, everybody. That's when I put on weight. That's when I started protecting myself. That's when I became, I claimed much older than what I am, and started being the maternal person, the funny person, but terrified if someone gave me a compliment about my appearance.
Because go ahead.
I just saw, oh girl, I hear you. That I'm not alone in this. That's why I went ahead and put that out there.
No, you're not alone in it, because I think that whether it is a sexual assault, whether it is someone made to feel incredibly uncomfortable about any part of their body being sexualized, being anything. And this can happen to men and women.
Oh,
It's not just about us women.
no.
Um, we quickly try to disappear in plain sight. We quickly try to navigate this winding road of what society, we're very visual people,
Right.
right? And so a lot of times we will do things to make us unattractive, to make us undesirable, to make us feel comfortable. And that takes on a realm of different things. But the thing is that we never disappear in that. Our heart might disappear a little bit, our mind might disappear a little bit, but our physical body, the thing that we're trying to hide from people, never disappears.
Speaking, Marty Luffman just joined us. I can identify. Yeah. And
Thanks, Marty.
I appreciate you saying that, Marty, because Marty's big buff cowboy, always has been. And
Hmm.
for you to step up and say, there's a reason that it's difficult to take the compliment. It's usually something way bigger than that.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. And it can be also, it can be something that is um, tragic. It can be a trauma in our life. It can also be something where maybe something has never actually happened, but a perpetrator has alluded to the fact that it could.
Oh,
And
see, that's a big
so
one. That's a big
yeah.
one. And
And
that's
so
its own form of assault.
absolutely.
Um, Joyce joins us with, I was there too at an earlier age, and I've never spoke of that until this moment. God bless you, Joyce. I'm so
Mm,
grateful that you feel safe enough in this group to share that. And you're not alone.
absolutely.
You're not
No,
alone.
no.
Lordy, Lordy, the feels today. Yeah,
Uh,
but it really affected me, and we're going to be uncovering a lot of this kind of stuff in our boot camp. This is
mhm.
this is something that we're going to be uncovering. Our boot camp is this Saturday. If you guys want to be a part of it, in a smaller group and an in-person group, but to open this up, and it occurred to me, I go, why is it so hard to accept a kindness from someone? I like to be the servant, and people, and we really find it really prevalent. I'm just going to say this. I call it the church lady syndrome. Who says, I'm going to work myself into a stupor for you. I'm going to put myself on the railroad tracks for everybody. I will sacrifice myself rather than have someone do something for me. Whew. Oh,
And there are a lot of
thank you,
men and
Joyce.
women. Yes, yes. Thank you, Joyce. There are a lot of men and women out there that live in that. They live in that need to, because somewhere in there, in our psyche, in our life, we're not enough just as we are. So we need to go overboard. Overboard in the sense of I'm going to do, for
Mhm.
other people. I'm going to take care of everyone else.
Right.
Um, and in that taking care of everyone else, or disappearing inside ourselves, we realize that we're not taking care of the one that actually matters the most, which is us, because our most intimate relationship that we will ever have with another human being, believe it or not, folks, it's the one with yourself. You have to get to a place. Some of us, there are people out there that will say, I love myself. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay. And then all of a sudden it's, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing this. Are you doing the things that nurture you? Or doing things that, let your light shine? Well, no, because I don't want my light to be seen. You know, my light, I don't want it to be seen. It will draw attention to me. And
Mhm.
then our traumas are exposed again. Or we run the risk of being, we believe we run the risk of being resubjected to a pain from the past.
And that same feeling will have us sticking with a bad relationship because we think of ourselves as, I call it the ugly ornament, being the ugly ornament on the tree. One year, I had all these people worried about me because I wrote this little essay about the ugly ornament. I have this one ornament that is chewed up and ugly, but I always put it on the tree because, and for me, and somebody said, why would you put that on there? I said, well, my Great Dane puppy chewed on that ornament and it was whatever. And it brought up, and then I realized sometimes I feel like that ugly ornament, all these beautiful ornaments, and then there's this one ugly one.
Mm-hmm.
And things in our life turn us into that. But we can pull back and go, wait a minute. I was created the same kind of baby that everybody else was created. I get to uncover that child. If you saw yourself as an infant, if you saw yourself as an infant, would you look at that infant? What would you tell yourself as that infant baby? Would you look at that baby and go, wow, you're the most beautiful little creature? Before anything happened, would you go back to that infant? What would you tell that infant? I want you to start putting that in the comments. What would you tell the infant you?
Mm-hmm.
Not the little girl that got hurt, but literally the infant. See yourself in that. You tell people about your nesting dolls.
The nesting dolls are what I use in my work with people processing through their trauma or their life experiences, where they start out, and those of you who might not be familiar with them, a lot of times they're referred to as Russian nesting dolls or stacking dolls, so that one stacks inside, they're a little oval shaped like jelly beans, and one stacks inside the other, inside the other, inside the other. And so when I'm working with people, we travel back on that train and reintroduce ourselves to those parts, those um, years or seasons in our life, because many times we don't get, or we didn't get, the attention, the love, the
Right.
encouragement that we didn't even know we needed,
Oh,
right? We didn't
mm,
know we needed it because we were getting what we thought we deserved, but we weren't getting what we actually deserved. So as adults, it's our responsibility to go back. And some people call it reparenting. Some people call it, I just call it nurturing and loving on those parts of us that might have not been included, those parts of us who might have been um, assaulted or insulted at early ages that
mhm.
have stuck with us. And many times, Devon, we don't even know that it's happened as our adult self. We just know something's off. You know,
Mhm.
we don't want to step in our light and shine. We don't want other people to shine the light on us. And it's something that has happened. It's the way that we feel about ourselves. And we're not born feeling crappy about ourselves.
No. When we still speak baby, we expect the world to love us. We expect the world. We come into this world knowing we are to be taken care of, that we are supposed to get love and light. I mean, we're fresh from heaven, so we know all the goodness in this world. Ruth Brown joins us. Hi there.
Oh, good morning.
Victoria says, "Who profound question. I would tell that baby so many things." Elizabeth
Mm-hmm.
shares, I tell that little infant that whatever happens to her as a child and teenager is not her fault. I tried so hard to make her really believe that. Ooh, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And those parts of our fractured self, those are part of our wholeness. And whether or not they're dinked, damaged, scratched, or shattered, they're still a part of our adult wholeness. And the only way that we can fully have an appreciation, I won't even go so far as to say self love. I'll say the only way that we can have an appreciation for who we are and the gifts that
Mhm.
we share with others, whether that's in your caregiving ways, or whether that's with your voice, or whether that's with filing taxes for people, whatever your gift is. The only way that we really step into that and own that and appreciate it is by recognizing all the other parts of ourselves that sacrificed their self for us to be who we are.
Whew, that
Yeah.
sacrificed ourselves. the part of ourselves that we sacrifice to be who we are. Y'all, that's a write it down moment. That's huge. That is a big nugget right there. What did you sacrifice? What parts of you did you sacrifice to be who you are? Rhonda shares, I had to tell myself now, it would be, I am who and how God needs me to be, no matter what that looks like. And I want you to go one further, Rhonda, and think about what you would tell the infant baby.
Mm-hmm.
What you would tell the infant. Teri says, I swear you and Teri are just like a Baptist preacher, always stepping on my toes. Look, we all share the same heart, baby. And Teri is one of the most caring. For him for doing that. We're having a little internet issue today, so
Yeah.
hopefully. But James G says, yes, that's good. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful person there.
Mm-hmm.
Today I found a way, Elizabeth says, to believe that what happened for a reason. It shaped who I am. I like the life I've created.
Mm-hmm.
Ray just joins us. Good
Hey, good
morning.
morning.
Good morning, Ray. We start with, why is it difficult to take a compliment? Why is it difficult to accept a gift? Now let's open up how can we accept a compliment? When someone makes the effort. First of all, I think that a lot of us don't believe that the compliment is sincere. Maybe someone has used compliments as their way to manipulate us.
Mm. Well, and if someone has used compliments to manipulate, or if a person really has um, the inability to see their value, then that gift, that compliment, which is a gift, will fall on deaf ears, will fall on a void in the heart. It just sort of, it's like the leaf that's going to like land on the branch, and then it just
Right.
sort of whistles off and just goes. We many times refuse to accept or acknowledge the gift, the compliment, which is the gift too, or it can be a material gift, or the kind gesture, because again, then all eyes are on us. Even if it's just two other eyes looking across the room, paying you a
Yeah.
compliment, people actually see you. And when people spend their lives feeling like they don't matter, feeling like they're not seen, they're not heard, they're not respected, they're not validated. And I don't mean every day you get up in life as a drudge. I mean that just in that pocket, in that inner pocket, it just feels like, so and so's just so much better off than me, or they deserve this so much more than me. Nobody deserves kindness more than you. There's enough kindness to go around for everybody. There's enough
Yeah.
compliments to go around for everybody. You don't have to barter off your compliment or your value system because somebody else needs that compliment more than you. There's enough compliments to go around, you know.
Amen.
So, creating that space so that you can take that compliment, because the first time you actually take a deep breath and just look at that person and go, thank you, I appreciate that, it will
Yeah.
feel like you are speaking a foreign language to yourself, because you're in your head, you're going, did they mean that? I wonder if they meant that. I don't know. I remember. And you'll just have this entire dialogue. But what another thing that will be happening at the same time, the warm and fuzzies will be ruminating through your entire body, because it's like that was nice.
That felt good.
That felt good, you know.
And that is so foreign to us sometimes. Bill Sinkay joins us, and
Hey,
this is
Bill.
great topic. We love Bill. We're going to have him on as a guest very soon again.
Again, yeah.
Joyce says, Amen, Elizabeth. That's how I feel. The person that caused me problems has died this last year, so I decided to just let the bad memories die with him. 2022 is going to be a year of changes for me, loving myself more. Amen, Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
James has sat down for lunch at home and clicked on this. So glad I did. So good. Oh,
Oh, thank you, James. We're glad you're with
yeah.
us.
James is a great singer-songwriter. Just loved him. Rhonda says, I appreciate the compliment, but honestly, I have a hard time accepting the compliment that I am an inspiration. We can all be an inspiration if we choose to be. True.
Well, and we all inspire one way or the other. It just depends on which side of the highway you're on
Ooh,
inspiring.
that's big, y'all.
You
We're
know,
inspiration one way or the other.
I mean, it just depends. You know, we talk about influencers these days. Everybody's an influencer, whether you like it or not. And I'm not talking about from a social media standpoint. I'm talking about, you know, you run up on the cashier at the grocery store. You influence. You're giving your energy to that person, one way or another. They're taking some exchange away from your encounter with them. You get to choose how that is. And if they're not having a great day or you're not having a great day, then we also get to say, well, that, I wish them to be having a rough moment right now. You
Mm.
know, we get to
Li-
decide what checks we put in our bank.
Did y'all just hear that? We get to decide what checks we put in our bank. Another, write it down. Those are my Terryisms that I put on my refrigerator. I put it just it's little post-it notes everywhere. And Elizabeth says, I just read an amazing book, pardon the title, and y'all can look at this. And I have heard that this book is really good. Get out of your head and into your
Mm-hmm.
life. It's short, provides amazing insight. At least it did to me. And this is the internet, and we can share these things there. And it's available on Amazon. And I will say
Mm-hmm.
that it is an important book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Thank you for putting that up for us. We get to decide what checks we put in the bank. Elizabeth, thank you for putting that down.
Yeah, thanks.
One of the things I've started is taking to heart when people give a compliment to realize what it took for them to say that. A
Mm-hmm.
genuine kindness. Because
Mm-hmm.
it takes a lot to look in someone's eyes and tell them something about them that is wonderful. And I encourage you that when you do that, to pay attention to the compliments you give sincere compliments. That is a kindness that will come back to you. But I've started taking the hand or touching the arm. Now we're in social distancing, touching the elbow of the person, saying, thank you. You just made my day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But watching that compliment as it's accepted, what it does to the person who gave it.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, you can do compliments about, they can be sincere compliments. You can do, I tell people, girl, I can be walking through the grocery store. And if I see somebody that's got a color, they're wearing a teal shirt and it just looks good on them. Right on by, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, by the way, I don't know if you know this or not, but you are rocking that color. It looks amazing on you. And I'm not pulling out some sort of, oh, I got to make myself do this. I genuinely want to do it. And why do I want to do it? Because the chemicals that are released when you're sharing a compliment like that with someone and you see their face go, oh, thanks, or you're just sharing it, you're restructuring chemicals in your body all the time. So you've planted a seed in a person that one, it makes you feel good,
Mm-hmm.
and two, maybe they got up in the morning and, I'm just giving an example here, not trying to like plan out a day for somebody, but maybe they got up in the morning and they just felt horrible and they just put on a shirt and just was like, oh, I don't even know why I'm doing this thing called life. And then you say, a compliment,
Yeah.
you see them. You're not responsible for their life. You're just saying, that color looks amazing on you.
One of the things that I love to share with people is what their superpower is. Everybody's got a superpower. Everybody. I can look through the people who are on the list of people who are watching today, and I can tell you a lot of you what your superpower is. It doesn't always have to be something on the outside. When we give somebody a compliment,
Absolutely.
Elizabeth, for instance, she's the most supportive human being I have ever met. She is one of those kind of people who is just there for people. But she's comfortable in herself. And I've watched her over the years as we've become friends and as we've become acquaintances through different channels and things. her superpower is literally in making people feel better about themselves. And I think that is such a gift. It's such an incredible thing that she offers. But I want everybody to start looking at themselves and start examining what their superpower is. Do you know what yours is? You
Are you
know,
asking me? Oh, I
yeah.
thought you were asking me. I was like, no.
In general, do you know what your superpower is, Teri?
Mm.
Teri, I'll tell you what yours is. You have the power of insight.
Mm.
You can see right through and bottom line a whole situation and say, cutting to the chase, and without anybody opening their mouths, you know them. You see people's souls. You're a soul seer.
I would agree with that.
You're a soul seer, and that is your superpower. And I've never in my life met anybody who is a soul seer like you. And you've taken, and I remember when you decided to do what you do and you walked away from a corporate medical position into this God given life and the people that you can help now and the way you can help people now is so much grander and so much greater. So, and I think that that's something is when people start noticing their superpowers, use them. We hide from that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and we're born with them. We just
Mhm.
don't, when we're little, we don't know that we have them. And when we start showing them, then a lot of times it makes adults around us uncomfortable because it's odd, strange, unfamiliar, and they don't know how to hold that. And it's okay.
Right.
They don't have to know how to hold it. It's not theirs to hold.
Yeah, that's right. Joy says, I always try to inspire everyone. And I love that quality I have, but have never really considered it a gift until lately. My husband, just this morning, he told me he loves that about me, that I try to inspire and be there for everyone. He never pays compliments, so I know he meant it. Oh,
There you go.
see, that's it. And Rhonda, how do you figure out what your superpower is? Do you have an answer for that, Teri?
Well, my answer, I guess, since I didn't even know what mine was do you have to know what it is? I mean, truthfully, we know things that we're good at, even if you don't want to admit it to another soul on the earth. There's something that just below the no, you're no good at that. No, that doesn't matter. Below that, the next rung down, there's that knowing. There's that seed that was planted long, long ago. And that seed goes, when you're ready, I'll bloom. And so I encourage people when they're looking at like what are their strengths or what is their potential or what is their purpose. You don't have to really search those things out. You just have to create the garden for them to bloom. And they'll
Mm,
bloom. They'll
right.
bloom. Recognize one thing that I would say to Rhonda, listen to the people around you, recognize the people who talk to you and see what they share with you. People will tell you what, and this goes for anybody, people will tell you how you inspire them,
Right.
how they can trust you, how you make them laugh, how people will share with you the gifts that you are to them. But that same people sharing the gifts that you are to them is the same as a
Right.
compliment. You have to create the ear space so that you can hear it.
Amen.
Otherwise, you go through your whole life going, well, no, nobody ever says I do anything good. And you look back and you've got a whole legion of people that have told you how great, how wonderful and caring and loving and inspiring and blah, 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 blah that you are. But you're sitting there going, oh, I guess I'm just, what is this thing called life? And it's like, do
Uh-huh.
you hear? You do hear, but you don't translate and you don't allow that to sink in.
Yeah. You say, I got a garden. I got everything to plant in my garden, but I'm not going to open the gate so you can come into this garden. I'm not going to let those seeds be planted. I'm just not going to. Now,
Mhm.
Mark, I'm a super eater. LOL. Well, Mark's superpower is he can make a bad day funny. He can take everything. He is the funniest human being he has the gift of humor. He is a superpower humor. I don't care what it is. And I've had some days, and sometimes a phone call or a text from Mark will just lift me up out of some place. And he has the ability, and I don't care who and he doesn't have any kind of thing where he looks at any group as different, whether they're a big old star. He's got them all in his cell phone. He's got the ability to walk in and he's got all of their numbers, and he calls them just like they're just somebody he's known for his whole life. And he realizes that people are people and everybody needs a little help now and then. And he's got that ability. Candy just joined us. She and Elizabeth are going to be at our boot camp. And we want to invite you now, since we're coming to the end of the show. If you guys want to uncover this a little bit more, this is one of the topics we're going to be doing at our boot camp. And that is this Saturday. It got moved. We've got 3 spaces left. If you want to get in under the wire, get in touch with Teri. Tell them how they can get in touch with you.
The easiest way at this point is going to be to call my phone, which is 615-513-2700. And if I don't answer, it's because I'm either out with the dogs or because I'm in a session, or send me a text. I'll get back with you. We'll get you signed up. And I just cannot even begin to say how excited I am about this boot camp. It has been a long time coming, because in 2020, I didn't do one workshop. I didn't do one retreat. In 2021, it was a little sketchy from time to time and people weren't ready for that, and then when we decided to, well, I usually keep them all small and intimate, but this one, I'm just so excited. I can't wait.
Oh, I cannot wait either. I cannot
wait. We had
wait
so
either.
much fun yesterday, just going through all the stuff, going through everything. And it was just like, ooh, and then there's this.
And then
we added a few things and shifted some things around. And I am like, it just can't get here soon enough.
Oh, I know. It's going to be so much fun. This Saturday starts at 10 o'clock. And if you guys want to be part of it, and Leslie says, sounds like a great session. Wish I lived closer. Well, guess what?
Guess what, Leslie?
We're talking about doing a Zoom version of what we do. So
we are. I've got a friend that lives in, I guess it would be considered the Midwest, upper Midwest, I guess. And they had said to me just yesterday, I wish I was closer. I'd be there. And I thought, well, lucky for you, we're going to be doing one. So.
And again, the number to call is 615-513-2700. Elizabeth's put that in the notes for this session, and that is this Saturday. And don't worry, even if it's the day of and you go, I wonder if there's a seat left, you can just reach out through that number and give a call and see if there's time. Because and if something happens and weather happens, we flow. We're like Bruce Lee says, be water, baby. We water. And if we have to move it, we'll move it. But that's what we do. Y'all have a great, wonderful day.
Absolutely.
Reach out to me, Devon O'Day at gmail.com, and Teri, of course,
at teripugh.com. Yes.
Well,
so are we wrapping? Are we wrapping?
Yeah. Candy says, oh yeah, they're talking about snow again. Yeah, I know. It's the deal about January.
I saw that they were like, it said snow flurries, and I was like, okay, so flurries is not like they're on telling us to go get our bread and milk right now, so we might be all right with this.
Yeah.
So
Dale just joined us. Dale Houston just joined us.
Hey,
okay.
Dale.
Everybody have a great day, great afternoon. Teri, take us home.
Absolutely. Well, you guys and gals, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate you more than you know. And if you can make the workshop, let us know. And if you can't, we're going to do a few more of them as well, like 1, 2s, and then retreaties and all that kind of stuff. In between now and then, create a space to increase your peace and create an amazing